Well, hello, my Creekside friends. This is Miss Boo. I hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to show you today how to make this super cute Mother's Day card, artwork, gift, whatever you choose to call it. So it's basically a cherry branch with some little cherry blossoms and 3 hanging hearts. Now, if you notice the hearts, we've got some pink ones actually glued onto the paper, and we've got these red ones that are kind of like pulled up, almost look like butterfly wings, so if you can see that on the video. Okay, so we're going to be making that. Now, for supplies, what you're going to need is 2 sheets of white paper. I'm using 1 construction paper and 1 printer paper, but if you don't have construction paper, that's okay. 2 printer papers, sheets of paper would work just as well. So one's going to be for the background and the other one is going to be for the hearts. Okay. Now, other supplies you're going to need is a Sharpie, crayons, pink and red, a pencil, scissors, and a glue stick. Okay. Now, with scissors, do make sure that you have adult supervision if you are young. You want to obviously make sure that safety is first. Now, this project is for my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade friends, but any grade can do this. I will be showing a simpler version of this for my TK and Kinder friends. So let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is draw the branch of our tree. So I'm going to use the pencil first, and basically just at the top, just draw a line, not too wavy, not too straight, because you know it's a tree branch. And then add smaller branches coming out of that, however you choose. I'm going to make maybe one right here and coming out here like so. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Maybe another small one here. All right. Then I'm going to draw my strings that are going to be attached to the branch and hanging down for the hearts. So what I want to do, kind of make sure they're somewhat evenly spaced out, is eyeball it. And about the center of my paper, I think about there is where I'm going to put my middle heart. So I'm going to draw a line going down. You don't want to be too low down because you want to make sure you have enough space for the heart and your Mother's Day lettering. Okay, and then so that's my middle one. And at the top, I'm going to make it look like it's a string attached or tied up to the branch. So what I'm going to do is basically draw 2 little bunny ears. If you can see that, I hope you can see that in the video, and 2 little lines coming down like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, on each side. So about there, I think. So I'm going to do 1 string coming down here. And this one is going to be bent down a little bit, but that's okay, like so. Same thing, draw my little bows, 2 little bunny ears, and then 2 little lines coming down. It looks almost like an arrow if you look at it from this angle. And then there, and then once we're happy with that, going to get my Sharpie and then trace over all the pencil lines. Okay, so I'm going to just carefully follow my pencil lines. Now, if you see some pencil lines visible after you've traced over it, you can certainly go ahead and erase those. Now, even in class, I always suggest we do the pencil work first and then trace over it with a Sharpie. Because obviously with a Sharpie, if you decide you want to make some changes, it's a little hard to do that. But with a pencil, you can certainly erase it. All right, and then I have another one coming down here. And then the strings, so I'm going to do my little bows. And then the string going down. And then that one. Okay, there we go. So now we're done with our Sharpie work. I'm actually going to erase a few of these pencil lines that I can see. There's one right here. Then I'm going to get my pink crayon, okay, and I'm going to make my little cherry blossom flowers. Now, we're not looking for perfect little flowers, just the illusion that there are cherry blossoms on those branches. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to kind of go in little circular motions with my crayon. Okay, so that's 1 flower, and I'm going to do another one next to it, because usually cherry blossoms do grow in clusters. So like that. So I don't want you kind of making big circles, just small little circles, like so. I'm going to do a few up here. Some kind of in between, so it looks like the cherry flowers growing on the other side. And then you want to basically fill up all those little branches with these cherry blossoms. So I'm going to do right here, and some on this one, little clusters of those. And you can add as many as you want. Okay, I'm just going to do a few just because of timing. Okay, now another option is for you to add with the Sharpie, it's just a few little dots in the middle of the flowers, if you want to, just to make it look more like defined flowers. Just in some of them, not all of them. Okay. All right. Now we are ready to make our hearts. So I'm going to put this to one side. I'm going to get my printer paper. So now we're going to be needing pink hearts and red hearts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, my paper in half. Okay, it's the easiest way. All right, and then using my red crayon and my pink crayon, I'm going to color 1/2 in red and 1/2 in pink. I have an example right here. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so once we've done that, with my pencil, I'm going to divide this into thirds because we're going to need 3 red hearts and then 3 pink hearts. So what I'm going to do is with a pencil, just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be super perfect. Draw a pencil line going all the way down there and then all the way here. And this makes sure that you use all the paper, because if you want to kind of freehand draw the hearts, you may not have enough paper for all 3 hearts. Okay, and then once you've done that, you're going to cut these out so you have 6 rectangular shapes, 3 pink and 3 red. All right, so once you've done that, I have one of my pink pieces of paper right here. So the colored side is going to be folded inwards. I'm going to fold this in half very carefully. You can see that. I'm going to fold this in half. So the pink colored section is on the inside. So you've got the white on the outside. So it looks like a book. So I've got my folded section on the left-hand side and the open on the right. So if you open up like a book, okay? Now, we're only going to be drawing half of a heart. Now, if you want to, you can certainly go ahead and draw a whole heart yourself on the pink side. That's totally fine. But for some who may find it a little bit difficult to do that, the easiest way is to fold it in half. And so this is to make sure you get a symmetrical shape. I'm going to start at the top by the fold, the top of my paper. I'm going to draw that looks like a frown or a sad face. Okay, then I'm going to lift up my pencil. And then once I've done that, from there I'm going to bring my pencil line straight down to the edge of the fold right there. Okay, so I'm going to kind of look a diagonal like that. All right, so now you can see it looks like half of a heart. Okay, and we'll see if I can bring this a little bit higher so you guys can see that. Hoping you can. Okay, and then I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to carefully cut around. I like to go a little bit outside the pencil lines. That's just me. Okay, like so. Put my scraps away, and then you open it up and you got your heart. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing for all your other pieces of colored paper. Okay, so I've got my 3 pink hearts right there. Feel free to rewind to do this step again, just in case you're having a hard time doing that. And if you want to practice on a scratch piece of paper first, you can certainly do that too, until you feel more comfortable doing it. Okay, so now I have my 3 heart shapes. Now what I'm going to do, get my background paper, and I'm going to glue on my hearts to the ends of each of those strings so they look like hanging hearts. Okay, so I've got my glue stick. Carefully place. You don't have to put glue all there on the edges. You can just put it in the middle, because I kind of like to have the little bits of end of those flapping. But if you want to make it completely flat, you can certainly do that. And I'm going to place it right at the end of that string. Press it down. Do the same thing with the other ones. All right. And then I'm going to glue that one down. Even if it overlaps a little bit, that's totally fine. That kind of thing looks a little bit cute. So it looks like slightly behind, this one's slightly behind the middle heart, okay? And then I'm going to do the third one. I hope it doesn't get too bright. Sometimes the colors of the crayons don't show up well on my camera. So there I have 3 of my hearts, okay? The pink ones. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the red hearts, okay? So I went ahead and cut out my red colored paper, okay? So I've got my red hearts there. So now this time when I glue these on, I'm just gonna fold them back like so, get my glue stick, and I'm going to just apply a little bit of glue to the fold, okay? Because these ones I want to make it look like they're butterfly wings, because I want them to kind of pop up a little bit from the paper. So I'm going to carefully place that, press down the middle, okay? You can leave them flat like this and wait for the glue to dry, and then carefully push up the sides of the heart, because right now they're going to move around a little bit because the glue's a little bit wet, okay? Let's do the same thing to all 3. Get a good amount of glue on those, right along the fold. Place it on the pink heart. Actually, I kind of like the way that they kind of overlap. I think it looks really cute. All right, and then the last one. And if you do have any questions or, comments about this, please do shoot me an email. And I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions about this project. I'm going to lift this up a little bit, okay? All right, so now we can also, which I didn't do actually on my finished example, I was thinking, since we have 3 hearts, we can even write the word mom. M-O-M. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Just an idea. Okay, and now that once the glue dries up and these fold up, it's gonna look super duper cute. Oh, adorable. Okay, so now let's work on the lettering at the bottom. So again, we're gonna start with the pencil first. So I'm gonna write Happy Mother's Day. Because in case you do need to make any corrections, you have the choice of doing that with a pencil. And the letters don't have to be perfect. I kind of like them when they're a little bit high and low. An exclamation mark with a little heart on the end. Okay, so I'm happy with the letters. So I'm going to get my Sharpie and I'm going to trace over them. Now you don't have to use a Sharpie. You can use any other, colored pencils, crayons if you want to. If you have letter stencils, you can use those. Just make it your own. This is just an idea of what you can do with the letterings. All right, once I've done that, what I'm going to do to give it just a little extra bit of cuteness, I like to add these little dots to the end of the letters on each of the lines. Just makes it look a little bit more cuter. That's just me. But you guys can do it however you want. So now notice there's a little bit of pencil lines peeking through the Sharpie. So what I'm going to do with an eraser is just erase those out. Let's do them here too. And oops, on the S. And then you have your project almost finished. All right, I'm just going to erase those out. And you are good to go. And however you choose to do your lettering, your mom is going to absolutely love it. Okay, so here you go. Hope you enjoy making this project. I'd love to see some of your finished examples if you choose to share them. Otherwise, have a good day and see you soon. Bye.